What is up? It is, in fact, Satanic Saturday. And of course, the wizard over there, my co-pilot, Human the Hoof Beast, brings about all of the super cool laser shit that I still don't know how the fuck he does it. Nobody else that I have on can do it. So apparently it's an ancient form of occult magic that he is harnessing.
It is one. Not just black magic, but fucking black magic.
Welcome to the goddamn program. We are back. And I don't know. I was fucked up there for a second, and we're back. Sweet. But we are back. We have a whole new goddamn list for you that I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with. So if you're ready to laugh, if you're ready to party, if you're ready to get into the great indulgence with us, please share this shit out anywhere and everywhere. Whoever loves to fucking go through all of this crazy stuff that's going on in our world, our digital world, and you know, we just have to shred it up. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break from our brothers over at Poison Valley Clothing. Check it out. Allahu Akbar. That's right, Custom Designs. Get your asses over there and check out all the new horror designs that he's got going on. Evening, Kyler. Babylon, who says Void of Light Magic is apparently the name of what you do.
It's fucking magic.
Shit. Thanks to everybody that joined the Reapers Underground last night, despite all of the technical difficulties that we had with the audio. So we have rescheduled Meowstress for next Thursday. So if you want to hear the continuing saga of this performer, definitely join us next Thursday. It was full of laughs and full of all kind of crazy shit. Just, I don't know. Definitely anything goes in the underground, and we have the best art that there is. And then, of course, we have another Reapers Underground. So it's going to be a double shot week. So next Thursday and Friday. Stay tuned. So how are you doing this evening there, Hoof Beast?
I'm good. Life has been pretty good the last couple days, and
my life is good.
I've got 1 song and a half left until I'm fucking done with all my recording for the new album.
Woo!
Oh.
Woo! Life is good.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we need to play that video. We need to play the video clip of that.
Shit. I'd get nailed so hard on Facebook for that. It's not even funny. Not to mention I'd have Glenn, send some henchman to my door going, "What the fuck you doing using my shit?" But apparently we got a few comments out there. Kyler says, "Whoa, we got the good flash." That's right, because you know what you could have got, but I didn't do it. Oh, shoot. Oh, cool. Babylon says, jealous. Our next single is about 75% there. Well, that's cool to know, man. Looking forward to hearing some new Babylon Sun. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, you know what goddamn time it is, because it is time for tonight's goddamn list. All right, where should we begin? Okay. So I think we'll start off first with this one. So, you know, during the holiday season, Halloween decorations have become like the thing to do. Everyone is getting bigger and more grotesque and crazier every year, and we fucking love it. But finally, and I've been saying it for years, of putting up black Christmas trees and you know, all the spooky decorations that I've always done. I guess you would call it the alternative decor. We're starting to see more and more cool shit coming. So I just happened to see this pop through and was like, this is the best Xmas decoration I could ever imagine. It is, in fact, the Hell Priest Pinhead with a Santa cap on his head, and he's holding one of the stockings. I want to get people's opinions on this. I just think that's fantastic. When, you know, rolling past, snow's falling, and there's the Hell Priest just out on the front yard there. I'm starting to see it more and more. A lot of companies are starting to make all kinds of horror-inspired tree ornaments. That's kind of started there, but I think we can get better than that. Let's hear some of your suggestions there, Hoof Beast.
The more blasphemy, the better. Feel of
oh, that's hilarious. Mouse bongs. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They need these. They need like 10,000 of these in each southern state across the whole South.
I mean, shouldn't we just, like, I don't know, get rid of trees altogether and just have like big old Baphomet statues that we can just decorate with whatever?
Great.
Wouldn't it? And you know, put some like really dark purple lights around it. That would be cool. Maybe stick a little hat on them if we want to. Or I was also thinking about this, since, you know, Krampusnacht was just earlier this week over in Austria. Oh man, that is a bucket list whatever item for me, is to one day go to that, where, you know, you have Krampus demons in like huge number, full on outfits, fire, gnashing of teeth, tongues that are like, god damn, they just look like they could reach out and snatch you. Just amazing shit. But I don't know. What do you think? I think this could catch on. We could do like a whole full Krampus tree. I think that would be amazing.
I think we are a minority. I think most people are neutral. I think there's a small percentage of the world are far right Christian nut jobs. And then I think I think there's a lot of people that would embrace blaspheming as alternative to the holiday season. I think they would fucking join us.
This is amazing. Mousebong says they need to add some Cenobite elves. Wouldn't that be awesome? So they'd be all grotesque. And you've seen Hellraiser, right, Hoofbeast?
Love it.
Yeah. So if you could imagine all his little buddies as elves, oh, what a great fucking idea! Babylon. Christmas orgies, please, with candy canes. And then Mousebong comes back with Krampus violating the Virgin Mary with a candy cane. There's a little sweetness for you, bitch. Why does that sound like every B movie ever? You know what I mean? That would be delightful. I mean, how many shirts do we see right now of all these nuns in naughty poses,
Yep.
scandalous? I think they took a page out of Merciful Fate's book on that. I mean, all that shit is just popping up. It's literally fucking everywhere. So I don't know if we're necessarily as much of a minority on this as we might think we are. Because I don't know. I've seen some pretty what most people consider to be normal folk come through my store, and they love the dark shit secretly.
I would like to propose that all nativities have some sort of a spin from Rosemary's Baby.
That would be epic.
Yes.
See, I always kind of had the idea of the nativity scene, which again, that church that's at the edge of town put up their star again that absolutely looks like an upside down cross at night.
Yes.
And I don't think they get it or see it. I'm finally going to take a picture here in the next week because that motherfucker is hilarious. Well, I always envisioned like, you know, the not that, you know, I don't believe in harming children and all, but the baby Jesus though on a like a roaster and you're just turning it, there's like fire underneath, and everyone's not there to give gifts, but have their plates ready with some forks and knives, like it's an old fashioned barbecue.
What was that from the Last Supper? Take, eat of this, or eat of my body. He was said in the Last Supper in the Bible.
That would be really, really, really good.
The Catholics would love us for this.
Of course they would. They'd declare war on us. It'd be great. Mousebong says, hell yeah, I love Rosemary's Baby. Seeing the baby in the end is iconic. I need to watch that again for sure. Babylon says, the Nazarene loved hookers and had a foot fetish. Pass the oil, please.
Oh, Babylon, where have you been? Babylon's been busy. Boy, he and Mousebong are bringing. Where the hell's Kyler?
Oh no, he's got some here.
Come on, Kyler.
We need Cancer Christ on the show. Oh, you guys are great. You are giving it to us like you should. I love it.
Oh, this is awesome.
And then Mousebong says, Reaper, that sounds like an ideal Xmas gore grind record cover. Yes. Spreading the dark joy. I mean, come on, let's do it. That would be great.
We had to make up our own Christmas songs. Brutal. Like worse than Cannibal Corpse, because Cannibal Corpse, you don't know who they're really referring to most of the time.
Right.
Will all be about the baby Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of some titles that we could totally bastardize.
Let's see. Hark the herald angels sing. Hark, I heard Satan sing.
Man, I don't know. Usually I can spit out stuff. Here's a good one. I like this one. Kyler says, Christmas nuts, Christmas nuts.
For Jingle Bells, Christmas nuts, Christmas nuts. Big nuts all the way.
Right. Or roasting your chestnuts over an open fire.
Yeah.
Hark, the angel bled. Shoot.
We have to have one about teabagging in there too. Teabagging Jesus or something, like teabagging the Virgin Mary or something like that.
Oh, geez. Now, see, that's that's why I like the way you think. Silent night, orgy
All the
night.
also make believe bullshit, and I love making fun of their fucking make believe because it fucking pisses them off.
Oh, now Mousebong's got the title of a Cannibal Corpse song right here. Santa Claus is Coming Blood.
Oh, that right. That's definitely God.
Excellent.
When you see Cannibal Corpse and they play "I Come Blood," the way Corpse Grinder yells it out, it just gets everybody fucking going. Fucking awesome.
He definitely gives it the oomph that it truly deserves.
100 every show, Corpse Grinder gives 100% every fucking.
Oh yeah, for
He's
sure.
chance. What a cool guy. Love to hang.
I could only imagine if there is a Watain show on Christmas Eve or something like that, what
Oh,
that might be like.
yeah, maybe a Watain, like maybe it will duel it Watain with Marduk.
Dude, that would be like the concert of the century.
My God. Not seen either.
Uh,
Yeah.
hey, what's up, Cody? Glad you could make it. The artist, not only for Morgrot magazine, but also for Circle of Nine. Glad to have you, sir.
Mm.
All right. So let's go ahead and see what we got next on the list.
I'm out of whiskey. I gotta go get some more.
I got my sippy cup ready to go.
First went down so quick and so smooth.
You know, it's all about the smoothness for me.
Mm.
So I love a good archaeological find, just like anyone else. You know, every so often, you know, you see trash come through your feed, mostly on Facebook, but even sometimes on Instagram. But in this case, I found this one on Facebook one day, and I was just like, who, they some, discover mummies, some discover burials that were unmarked, and they try to figure out how old it is, what period, what people, that kind of thing. And I just could not help but bring this one to the table. I think you all will get a kick out of it. What the fuck did this guy do to deserve this? Holy, unholy fucking shit.
Oh my
They
God.
buried this guy in the ground and stuck not one, but two swords in his motherfucking skull.
Wow.
I'm not exactly sure where this was found, but they uncovered it. And of course, obviously, the ground being the ground, almost completely fucked up the swords that are in his head. But wow, what the hell could this guy have done? What's your take on that?
They were about zombies or, mummies returning back to life. And so I think they were trying to pin him down into the earth. So even if he did come alive, he couldn't get out.
Yeah, you think so?
They have out.
Back then they were also big believers in vampires too, depending upon where this was found. But that shit was brutal, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what the comment section has to say here. Babylon says, hell yeah, that's awesome. Kyler says, the guy must have said something bad about black metal.
Like,
damn you, purist.
We have Mousebong and Babylon, and our skull maggot friend Kyler is fucking pulling it out.
Mousebong says he was a smart man and they were jealous of his huge brain.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about putting stank on it. That was just insane to me. So Woo! But yeah, I just had to bring that one to the table to see what you all thought. Because, I mean, just the way things used to be back in medieval times, they didn't just bury somebody, they put fucking stank on it to make sure that they could not come back from the
Yeah.
hereafter.
Yeah.
Apparently, this one most definitely did not. Because let's face it, those two swords probably had him completely stuck to the earth permanently.
Must naughty boy.
Cody says his last words, I want to be an album cover one day. I mean, we think about how many bands we love that have like horrific scenes and shit. That totally would make a great fucking front cover, especially if you were talking about like, you know, Vlad the Impaler. All right. Let's see what's next on the list. Oh, this is one that's probably very, very quite personal to our brother here, Hoofbeast, because he is a tattoo artist himself. And I found that this was rather interesting. Numbing cream or no numbing cream? What is your view on that? It's supposed to take a lot of the ouchies out. Do you think it actually works?
You only get the ouchies to go away for about 10 minutes. And after about 10 minutes, you're having about 50 to 75% of the pain back. And that's if you wrap it, you put it on heavy, and you let it sit for over an hour on the skin. You've got about 10 minutes. And psychologically, the disappointment sure creeps back in. And then your pain fucking comes back really bad. A lot of it.
With a vengeance.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, go ahead.
My whole body is tattooed. My whole chest, all my abs, all the way down, totally tattooed, full color for most of it. Haven't finished a little bit on my chest and my abs, but these are like full pieces, like bodysuit pieces.
Yup.
And oh my God, it hurts. Around the nipples to the outside of the nipples and the upper rib cage, love handles, unholy fuck. It's awful. It's fucking torture. I hate it. Some people can rock it, but I've seen on the chest and doing long, like 5-hour sessions, unholy fuck.
Right.
So I would just say get a really good night's sleep and come in a good mood. If you're in a good mood, you do a lot better. Arms aren't shit. Any part of my, if you get in the armpit, that's pretty juicy. But the arms aren't shit. Legs aren't shit.
I ain't tattooing my pit for nothing. Got me fucked up. No, thank you.
It's pretty juicy. It's pretty damn intense.
We have a lot of comments. Kyler says, there's numbing cream. There is, but it is not what people bill it out to be. Let's see here. Same. Mousebong says, none of my artists have ever offered it to me, so I assumed it was bogus. That's because I don't think every tattooist, thinks that it's legit, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I used to offer it. I don't anymore because it's like 10 minutes of help and then it quickly goes away, because what happens, it's like getting punched in the nose. Your body floods with things to flood this irritant out, which is your crushed tissue and the shock of what's just happened. Same thing happens on your skin organs. And so your body flushes this shit out. Like for my last show when I was with this progressive metal band, I got lost in 2 songs. Nobody else could tell because what I was playing was still a part of the song and it still went with it. But I was high as a fucking kite because you're endorphin. I was high as a damn kite for that show. And I didn't drink or smoke anything. And I had no idea.
Right. Mousebong says, I hated my inner arm and armpits. Holy fuck. Yeah, the inner arm sucks, especially the bottom portion, which I'm just now getting around to filling in some of it. Originally, when I tattooed over my bicep here, that was about as far as I could take it for the moment. Plus, I didn't want to have to like wait. Oh man, I don't remember how many hours that was because I did like this arm was just like a bunch of like calligraphy basically put together. So I was just kind of like, eh. I was like, ouch. Let's see here. Kyler says, see, I learned something. See, the show is educational. I don't necessarily know if you're getting really good education or we're just trying to suck you into our world.
So what I'm thinking, what these companies do in order to say that it works for hours, is what they're doing is having somebody who's not having pain put upon the skin to where the body's going to react to it and try to flush it out and deal with it. And I think it's just like they're taking like a needle and just poking. Can you feel that as pain? Can you feel that, a half hour, an hour later? And I can see it working that way, but I'm telling you, you got about 10 minutes and then it's gonna quickly go down to where you have nothing. And if you're doing a really intense area, geez, it's really bad.
Well, I mean, to me, there's no other way than to just do it.
Yep. You got to get a good night's sleep and be in a good mood. Don't have had a really shitty day, because I've been tattooed so many times. My whole body is tattooed except for my neck and my hands. My face, of course. I'll never tattoo my face.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Studied, like there's sometimes when I can take 5 hours. Like I one time had two guys with rotary machines, my two teachers at the shop, tattooing on my back at the same time with a rotary machine. Rotary machines hurt a lot more than a coil spring-based machine.
Mm-hmm.
I could rock it. I did fucking awesome that night. And then there's some nights when I'm just weak. Can't do it as well. And I paid attention. And those are times when I had a rough day at work and I had to rush to the appointment. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't relaxed and didn't have my mind right. So that's my 2 cents.
No, I totally agree with that 100%. I can't honestly say, I don't think I ever went into any of my tattoo appointments. I don't have nearly as many as yours, but most of my sleeves are, it almost filled in. It's a lifetime commitment, folks. So and there's money involved on holy fuck, right? So, you can't always just go for the gusto all at once. So I've just been kind of adding through the years. But here we go. Cody says the ditch of my arm and knuckles were the worst. When I had my hands done, it did go over. You can kind of see it went over one knuckle there. And I think, another, just one on my other hand. And I was like, God damn it. I think a lot of people don't realize that it's considered a body trauma. Like you said, like the body is like, uh-oh, what are you doing to us? You're fucking with us. This is not good. This is, and it fights it. Kyler says, I think he means to say I'm only doing parts of my chest, my back, and arms. I feel that. Oh, fucking hell, lady. Palms hurt like hell, too. I could not imagine tattooing my palms. Just not something I want to do, especially being a drummer. That's just me. The tops don't bother me, but, I don't know. I need all the strength in my palms as possible. Nothing against anybody out there that, wants to do that. More power to you. That's just something I don't want to do.
Yeah, the older I get, the less I want to tolerate the pain. I'm just like, fuck this bullshit.
That's why I'm trying to get in like the most of it before I turned 50. That's only 3 years away. So I got 3 years of hell and pain. That's all right. I'm okay with that because I got some pretty juicy ideas. So apparently the numbing cream is bullshit. All right. So many times on this program in particular, we've talked about how the music industry is fucking artists over left and right. So, of course, me being in the world of metal for as long as myself and Hoofbeast has, we get a lot of the what do you call it? The metal news. So Metal Injection hits this one where I got so mad I threw my phone across the room. When I put this on the screen, you're gonna see why. Label exec calls for the end of physical media due to pollution. They're trying to say that CDs, vinyl, physical merch is considered a pollution. When we take away a band's ability to sell albums, vinyl, CD, cassettes are coming back as well. You're taking away their income. That's what we sell at shows. So I don't know what you think about that, Hoofbeast, but I'm kind of beside myself on that. And we all know that the execs, kind of run the music industry and have the money and the power to do so. I think we should try to get a petition together to stop this one.
Which record label is it?
It actually didn't say. It was kind of I'll have to go back, but it was a kind of like they were talking with a lot of different execs, and they're all trying to get rid of physical media. I don't think the smaller indie labels feel that way, obviously, especially DIY. So it's got to be the bigger people. But how can they say it's pollution?
Well, I think it's the post, the traveling, the shipping cost, the driving to get. If you buy one single CD, obviously it's going to be a little bit less if you get multiple at a time. But if you're buying from Amazon.com, the packaging that goes into that, the packaging and the production and the pollution that's generated from making it. But I can find all kinds of other things that are not going to be a part of somebody's income that we could do away with environmentally. That would help out a lot more than just this. And aren't we in the minority now? I'm sorry, most people are not buying physical copies. So it's kind of like this issue was grandfathered out for the most part. Sure, I still buy it. I've got all kinds. I'm still buying vinyl. I'm still buying CDs. The occasional.
Absolutely.
But I think that problem is kind of taken care of itself quite a bit.
I could not agree more. And at the same token, I'm saying this. The reason they've just kind of come up with this pseudo bullshit idea so they can save money.
Probably.
They know that it takes up to 9 months to get vinyl orders.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's probably a lot of folks out there, not saying anyone that's tuned in tonight, but I'm just saying, there is probably a segment of the population that bitches and moans because it hasn't got to them yet, in a timely fashion. So, maybe they're having to do some refunds or some shit like that. It all comes down to money. This is just kind of like a pseudo political way, I think, for record companies to go, oh, when we thought about it, it's adding to the pollution. And I have to agree with what Cody says here. almost everything we use on a daily basis is basically pollution. So what the fuck? Could not agree more. You fucking fart in the wind, you're releasing a pollutant. So it's like taking away what everyone has done since the dawn of time, since albums were invented, the LP, vinyl, cassette tapes, and of course CDs. We all love going to that resale shop, or there are still some record stores legit out there, mostly in Europe, but at the same token, there are still some shops in the US that still sell vinyl and stuff like that. So why take that satisfaction away from what I would say is a very large segment of the population? I don't think it's as minority as vinyl wouldn't be having such a need that every, doesn't matter what the genre of metal, everyone is putting out a vinyl release.
Yeah, but metal is a minority, and most kids today, my daughter, her friends, do not buy physical copies at all. And they're like, why would you want that? I'm just going to listen to it on Spotify anyways. She's like, Dad, why are you getting that? You listen to Spotify all the time. Anyway. But here's what I think. I think it's definitely money. And I think these asshats who own these big record companies, one, they don't want to do the work to ship the merchandise out. They don't want to keep track of all that. They can make more money themselves by getting rid of this and still take the same fucking cut from the musicians that they're probably taking right now. And they have less cost because they don't have to front the money for the physical copy. And they'll probably still take the fucking same cut for a digital copy. Fuck those motherfuckers. Let's see if this comes up with man. Nope.
I wish.
With my magic.
The magician has spoken. Yeah, and I'm urging all bands out there, stop putting all of your albums on Spotify. I'm telling you right now, there is a segment of bands that are on kind of the next level of the underground that is now just putting a couple of singles from each of their albums onto Spotify. They're not putting full albums on anymore. And the reason is legit. The only way bands can exist is by fans who buy merch. So by Amazon Music, iTunes, Pandora, all that shit. When you put full records on, that means that person only has to pay a monthly subscription fee. Mm-hmm. Monthly. Usually only $9. Mm-hmm. And all the while, the artist is making less than a quarter per listen. So it's in the end, it's not worth it. Does it get you out broader? Sure. But you could use Bandcamp. But even there, I don't think it's enough. Go to the shows and get yourself a fucking bona fide physical copy. Mm-hmm. So can't exist. Can't fucking exist, because at the end of the day, clubs don't want to pay bands. Bands accrue so much that now they're doing GoFundMes for touring. It's like, we got people saying, hey, come out to the East Coast. We want to see you. We want to see you. Oh, yeah? Tell the fucking club owner to pay for it. No, right. Won't happen.
These club owners are taking big cuts of the merch sales as well.
Mm-hmm. All the while, they're making hand over fist on booze.
And the cost to get people in there.
Yeah. Door charges.
They're paying for a bunch of stuff, but when a fucking show sells out, they're making some fucking money. And now they're really making money by taking a cut from the merch tables.
Which is goddamn ridiculous.
Yes.
I can't stress it enough. Bands, stop putting full albums on all of the streaming outlets.
No, I totally agree. And Nick Turner from Malevolent Sound Records and the A Causal Intrusion, he said the same thing. He refused his bands on Spotify. And he said, "You're welcome to put a couple songs up if you want." But he said, "I refuse to put out any music on there."
You
He
know,
won't,
yes, it's
he won't even
art.
do a single.
I feel that. I mean, I think it's helpful to grow interest that way. You know, by how you know, and that was one of the things I saw, you know, this past month and stuff. All the bands are like really excited because Spotify, you know, gives you that cute little thing that says, here's how many, you know, spins you got for the year, how many followers you have for the year. And everyone is just so proud of themselves. I'm like, but do you realize that you're shortchanging yourself and you're still wondering, how can I make this my living? Well, guess what? Putting everything out on Spotify is not going to allow you to try to make some kind of a living off of the art that you are creating. I feel artists should be paid. I don't see what's wrong with that. How's it any different than the painter that paints something? They expect someone to buy their art. Music's no different, folks. That's my 2 cents. Here we go. Audio. Hang on, folks. Can't hear you. This is similar to what we ran into last time. He'll be right back, but I'm going to keep the list rolling. I agree with you, Mousebong. In the end, people are either wanting to support the band and will pay, or there are the type that will find a way to get it free. Absolutely. And that's how that typically happens. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. Now I can hear you as well.
Yeah.
What was the last comment you had?
So the thing was, yeah, I was just saying, sorry I disappeared because somebody called my damn store. Shit, it is almost 10 o'clock. What the hell? Why are they calling right now?
Because they think that we are 24 hours available to them at their disposal.
Good God.
You know, I bet you that's why we had so many technical problems last night, because people were blowing up her phone.
Probably.
So makes perfect sense, but we just couldn't get the audio back. But luckily, the magician has done his job.
Just go out and come back in, and it worked.
Yeah, thank goodness. Since we're on the subject of music, we can transfer into this one. Now, I thought when this first came about, I said to myself, I can't see a lot of the metal community wanting to pack onto a luxury cruise to watch bands. Now, I mean, I can see some of the heyday acts wanting to do it, you know, because their career is virtually over. And the only way that they can continue to exist as a band is to do nostalgia cruises. You know, like a Cantina band. You know, they're no longer packing stadiums, they're packing cruise ships. Well, what in the fuck does Lamb of God think they're doing playing shows on a cruise? Not exactly the kind of band that people are just going to go, you know, and rock along to and not get fucking blasted out of their minds. And then this happens. Oops, wrong one. So sorry. Man overboard on Headbanger's boat not found. Lamb of God issues a statement. Now, looking at this cruise, I mean, it's pretty badass looking. It looks like they got some crazy designs on it and all that good stuff. But damn it, we know what we're like at concerts, especially younger folk that don't give a fuck. Perhaps he crowd surfed a little too far outside of where they were playing and flew overboard. Or high and drunk out of your mind and you're like, damn, that was a good show. And fall over the other side of the boat. If I was Lamb of God, I would be like, unholy fucking shit. We are getting slapped with the worst lawsuit ever. What is your take on these cruises? And, well, I don't know what to say about that one. I feel really bad for that guy's family. Because it wasn't some old, senior citizen playing fucking shuffleboard.
I think the appeal for those is that you might get to see the guys out having a drink. You get to hang out with the band members. If I was a band member and I was real popular like Lamb of God, I don't know that I'd want to go out all the time and be mobbed all day long. I don't know if I'd want to do it. I'd have to know which bands were on there. Because if Sleep Token's on that fucking tour, well, I'm going to that shit, but I'm going to boo the fuck. This kind of reminds me, fucking Amy Lee or whatever her name is of Evanescence. A video came up on Instagram or something, and of course, I had to make a comment. So I made a comment. Oh my God, the thought police had their feelings hurt, and the thought had like crazy, and they said that I was emotional. I was like, no, I just said she is so sappy and melodramatic that I could never see this again. When I saw them open up for Korn, I booed the entire time. And their panties were in wads, and they were so upset with me. So I love just poking them right back. Like, I'm not emotional one bit about this. She sucks. That's my opinion. Too bad for you.
Kyler says, Sleep Token is pollution.
Loudwire's top 25 metal albums of the year.
I saw that, unfortunately. I ain't got shit to say about that.
Loudwire is awful. The only thing I've really seen that was really good from Loudwire is they had 10 best metal bassists of all time.
Really?
And it was an amazingly thoughtful and very good. It wasn't metal and rock, because I would put Billy Sheehan in there. Billy Sheehan.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking monster on the bass. But they had all of the biggest bassists. Like, that was a legit 10 out of 10. I was like, amazing. They did not put Lemmy Kilmister on there because he's not a good bassist. He has good bass tone. He's great with Motorhead, but he's not a great bassist. He doesn't do anything that's unique or anything that's special on the bass. They didn't have Geddy Lee because that's rock for the most part. So
Kyler says, I hate the ocean, so I won't be getting on a boat to watch a band. I agree with Mousebong on this one. Yeah, I would never want to be in a floating hotel with random people with no escape, especially at a metal show. And Babylon says, can we call it Titanico? Or no, I'm sorry, Titanica. Mousebong, you're awesome. Also, I thought it was a general consensus that Evanescence sucks. I didn't realize people rode for that girl so hard. She's got a talented voice, but at the end of the day, every song is a tragedy. There's nothing ever positive, or I mean, I don't know. I guess as kind of like a gothic throwback band, it works because there's always something to bitch about. But as a band, I have to say I did see one concert snippets from 2019 that I actually thought, wow, she actually got a fucking metal band together because the musicians were fantastic. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like same old shit, just recycled.
God, just kill me now. Get this shit over. Oh,
I'm sure that's what she was thinking.
yeah.
So general consensus here is that we will not be getting on a cruise ship, let alone to see an extreme heavy metal band. Always ends in disaster. But apparently, you can also get an unfortunate accident at a show at a regular venue as well. Oh, excuse me. Police seeking man who assaulted someone dressed as a furry in a pit. Could you imagine you're in a pit at, I don't know, any number of bands that you enjoy, and someone dressed as a furry just happens to meander their way into the pit, sucker punches you, and runs away? I thought they were supposed to be peaceful people. What the fuck? What is your take on that, Hoof Beast?
So somebody punched the furry and ran away.
No, the furry punched the kid whose photo was here. I'll put it back up for you.
Okay, got it. Okay. Fucking.
That's just see, you can see the picture of the furry starting a fight with this dude, but somehow sucker punched
It says
the kid first.
It says police seeking man who assaulted someone.
Shit, I got that backwards. See, this is what happens sometimes when I don't put my glasses on. Okay, never mind. Sucker punched the furry. My bad.
Like, I think the nature of a pit is too tough for a furry anyway, so just let him go in there and have a natural and logical consequence. I don't want to punch a furry. I feel sorry for them. They're fucking weak. I don't want to. Like, I don't care. Like, let them do their little thing. Just don't try to make me call them by whatever furry name they want to go by. Don't make me try to say that they are, something that isn't human, or I don't know, something having to do with like animal binary or something like that. I just don't want to deal with that.
Well, I mean, that person had to think, come on. They've had to be at concerts before. They know what pits are like. Some pits are peaceful. Everybody watches out for each other. Get the rage out, but not actually throwing elbows, punches, and kicks. As you know, like some of the old punk shows from back in the day, or hardcore shows for that matter. It's just nothing wrong with that person wanting to, show their furriness off to the world, but damn it, do it from the sideline. Don't go in the middle of the pit.
And be surprised when somebody wallops you. But, my issue is when I go to these underground shows, there's always at least one. They usually outweigh the victim by probably 100 pounds. There's some big dope that looks like they just played high school football last year.
And or just got out of prison.
Yeah, this is their first metal show ever, and they're going to prove just how much tougher they are than all of the metalheads there. I have watched this every fucking show I go to. There's some muscle-bound or beer belly-bound pregnant dude out there who wants to pick on skinny little kids who are, you can tell, this kid probably just came out of their bedroom for the first time in weeks. to come to the show. They're out having a good time, and and, and here somebody's going to make them a victim, is going to go after and beat the shit out of them. When I saw Overkill in July, there was this fucker, and I was about to fucking intervene with this shit, and the bouncers were all over it. And they came over to me, and I said, thank you for it. They were like, hell yeah, we've been watching this piece of shit all night long do shit. And he finally went way over the line.
There's always that one guy that just thinks that, I just took a bunch of speed or something like that, and I can just unload and just look for people, to beat on. And, it's like, well, one of these days that person's going to do it to the wrong motherfucker who's going to end up taking them out. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so. You shouldn't be afraid when you go to a metal show, because not all metal shows are like this. But if I go back to the article a little bit more to find out what the band was, it's probably not a big name. It looked like a smaller show. Mm-hmm. People just want to have a good time. Not everybody wants to be hurled through the crowd, kicking their legs back and forth. That's not even how you crowd surf anyway. So, this shit happens. But yeah, you are definitely an easy target if you are dressed in that apparel.
Yeah, if you look, you weigh 120 pounds wet, and that you still have a snotty nose, and that you're a shy person afraid of their shadow, these fuckers go after you, and they will. And almost all the attacks were totally from behind by this big thug as well. In the 80s, I used to go to a bunch of punk shows, and it was the skinheads, and the skinheads would control the middle of the pit, especially if the metal band was maybe a crossover band like The Accused.
Oh yeah,
or something like that. Like they'll show up because, like I saw, The Accused opened up for GBH, and so they were the skinheads were there to see GBH, although GBH didn't like the skinheads, and the skinheads were such dickheads, and most of them yoked up. Like I back then I weighed 165 pounds with them, but nobody wanted to go in the pit while The Accused is playing. And it's probably because Blaine had long hair, and man, he was fucking amazing. That show was so damn good. But they didn't like that band because they were kind of crossover, kind of thrashy, but still kind of like hardcore punk. And they just controlled the pit and tried to ruin everybody else's night.
Wow. But, yeah, or if you fucked up and went to a Black Flag show with Henry wasn't afraid to fight anyone in the crowd, as well as Glenn Danzig of the Misfits. There's so much old footage of how brutal some of those shows could be. Could you imagine one of these dumbasses, coming into a show like that, knowing full well, because we're in the internet age. You can literally pull up any concert from any show of band that is coming to your town and see what it's like. Let's see here. I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. At a Lorna Show concert, a dude bigger than me was trying to crowd surf like an idiot. Even the bouncers were like, what the actual fuck? No one wants to try to, do arm day and leg day and back day just because your fucking mongoloid ass wants to go into the air and get tossed out in the front. Shit, I hope by the time that stupid motherfucker got to the front, he got knocked the fuck out. That's stupid.
A funny thing that I used to see going to these shows in Arizona is we had a lot of, Navajo, Apache, Hopi Indian reservations nearby. And so they come from Flagstaff and out and come to the shows in Phoenix. And usually it would be 2 or 3 big Native Americans, Navajo, would get in the pit and go at it with the skinheads because the skinheads could knock their asses over. And the Indians were always totally cool. Always
Right.
totally. They never did bullshit underhand.
Nope. They were just keeping the place safe for everybody else. So I think it was our last show where we showed this video of this I don't know, this little cattywampus wonky guy, probably a future televangelist, talking about the evil of the logo of Starbucks. Well, we had a good old time with that one. Mm. So this ended up coming across my feed one day, and I was like, maybe he would have a little something to say about this version. But damn it, that is not what you see on a regular Starbucks cup. So I love the fact that they are doing that, like some of the goth satanic companies are doing this in rebellion against what they say about Starbucks. Absolutely. I think it's fucking great. If I was actually a Starbucks guy, I would buy one of those fucking cups, take theirs, dump the shit into mine, and walk around with it. And be like, look here, asshole. This is what it actually looks like. just to give it to them.
The more streaming, the better.
Without a doubt. So there's always these little contests and things that I see pop up all over the place on Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter what. And this one happens to deal with a bar. And, a lot of the times they get celebrities that kind of, get involved with some of these contests. And I just thought grabbing the main two stars of one of the greatest modern day dramas from Breaking Bad to push this contest. Bartender Magazine, it says, do your regulars keep coming back for more? One beloved bartender will win 10,000. And the way they're trying to push this is by using the meth making heroes of the Breaking Bad show to push this forward. And I was just thinking to myself, why would you pick those two guys to represent this win a $10,000 and a feature in the Bartender Magazine? Why would you use two meth makers, fictionally, of course, to push this home? I mean, I understand it's popular, obviously, but you could have picked something, some celebrities that, didn't represent a really nasty drug. What's your take on that?
So if the prize is only $10,000.
Yeah, which I thought was actually kind of a bit low.
How much are they paying both of those actors to come on? Because I'll guarantee you they're not coming on for no $10,000.
No, considering that show made them absolute, icons of pop culture. Probably at least $1 million an episode status. But I just thought it was funny, like what went through their minds to make them think to pick those guys to represent it.
Just that they're popular.
I just got a good chuckle out of it. I can't help it. So now we're starting to get into the serious portion of the goddamn list here, but we do have a couple of comments real quick. The Mouse Bong says the other type of brewmasters. This is great. They should have had them dress in character. So they should have had their little, yellow safety suits on with the goggles and everything, dude. And then it says where we were missing Jesse Pinkman's iconic flaming tribal Sonic the Hedgehog shirts. Yeah, that would have really kind of brought it home, so to speak. But yeah, so into the serious part. Many of us obviously are not millionaires. We don't even fall into the segment of middle class, upper middle class, whatever the fuck it's called these days. But we do have places where we can save. After Hoofbeast kind of pushed this article on to me, I was kind of like, there's no such thing as a dollar store anymore, and they need to change their names.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I hear the word dollar store, I think literally items for $1.
Mm-hmm.
So Dollar General, change your name, and Dollar Tree is now entering into the same thing. They now have a $3 and $5 section of their store, when before literally everything was $1. Then it went to $1.25. Now they have $3 and $5. So when I saw this, I was like, I'm dead. Walmart hiked prices on its great value food brands. So this is Walmart's cheaper off-brand option to getting, name brand stuff. And it's just as great. It says the company net income has spiked by 93% to 10.5 plus billion in 9 months. Walmart rewarded shareholders with 5.9 billion in buybacks and dividends. Corporations are still using inflation as cover to price gouge you. So what that tells me right there is, where did it say anything about its employees?
Well, I talked to somebody who's in management for Walmart today about this topic, and she said, "Yeah, we get bonuses at the end of the year, and it comes from that." And so, like, this shit really pisses me off, because what they're doing is they're hiding behind Americans being terribly misinformed or uninformed about things. So over a year ago in October, when the inflation was so high, we saw, cereal was going up so high. There was something that came out 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago about these egg producers have been sued for millions of dollars, and they lost for conspiring to raise egg prices. And so, like, all the evidence produced was like, why are you still gouging everybody with this stuff? And so I knew last year, because I know how this shit works. Kraft, General Foods, Walmart, all of these companies that make food, they always brag about it on their websites when they show their quarterly reports and their dividends. They brag about it. They're really proud about it. And so when I saw General Mills, who makes all kinds of cereals, Kraft Foods, which is a big one, and so I went on their websites back then and I screenshotted this, and they were making money hand over fist. In many cases in our grocery stores, it is not inflation. And don't fall for that fucking lie. These corporations are totally gouging us, and all of the information is in plain sight. Fox News will fucking never, ever report on this shit. Ass cracks will never, ever report on this stuff. CNN, MSNBC will report a little bit here and there, Like Joe Biden said something about it like over a year ago, and he called them out. Hardly got any airplay. Like it was just a small segment. They didn't have any of their experts, their economic experts, come on and discuss this unethical practice. They just fucking glaze over because those companies are advertising on their networks to make them money.
Yep.
So not just Walmart, Kraft Foods, go and look at their websites and look at their quarterly reports. They're not having a rough time. They're having amazing profits because they're gouging us.
Yes. Cody here says that I worked for Walmart for almost 5 years. Normal workers don't get bonuses. Only upper management types do. Exactly.
Yep.
That's the problem I'm having. I'm talking about the people that really make that place run efficiently are not management.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck isn't the person that works in the butcher portion? Why aren't they getting bonuses? Why isn't the what left of cashiers that they have?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and if you look at their type of health care, it's fucking bullshit. My wife fell down last week in the house. She was photographing, standing on our bar stool. She was photographing, lost her balance, fell down onto the table. Ooh. The chair fell down and gave her a big O vertical line on her forehead. And so I had to take her to the emergency room. Blood everywhere. She's okay. I just told her, I said,
thank goodness.
I said, if you had a horizontal line right there, then you'd have an upside down cross. That would be special. So they super glued her head together.
Oh.
But why in the hell was I bringing that up?
Healthcare.
Oh yeah, the healthcare. So we went to the emergency room. Our damn copay was $190.
Jesus fuck.
And they didn't even clean the blood off that was in her hair or anything like that. They cleaned the little area. They took super glue and put it up the cut, and that was it. And then the doctor, the PA came in, and he said, we don't really have to do this, but if you'd like, we could do a CAT scan. And I said, no, a chair fell down at an angle and hit her head. It cut her open. She doesn't have a concussion. She has no symptoms of a concussion. CAT scan. Well, we just don't know exactly what could happen under there. She could have a blood clot. Just like they're trying to gouge you as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is some fucking bullshit.
And then kick you out before your insurance picks up.
Oh. And it's a lot more if you go into the emergency room. I'm like, hello, how did I do that?
You went like this. You did jazz hands. I don't know.
I don't know how I did that. I don't understand my power.
Yes, your unholy power is amazing.
But I'm like, all of the doctors have been scheduled for there. They know about how many people are coming every night. They know they're making money. So why, just because we go to an emergency room that's staffed 24 hours with the same people, you're going to get the same care, why is that $190 copay instead of a $30 copay? Because bastards.
The doctors need another boat, another vacation home.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
It's bullshit.
They're not driving a beater to work.
Yeah.
They're coming in a fucking Bentley. Or a Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. I don't know. I've always had an issue of how can we put a price on life?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Only us humans would figure out a way to do that. Ay. But as depressing as that can be for our final item on the goddamn list tonight, as we always like to, kind of poke fun at the Christian regime. And let's face it, that's exactly what the fuck it is. Brother Babylon Son passed this one on to me for your enjoyment. This fucking cake hole will split your sides.
And their place in him as the hallelujah. And God sent that man that day to open up those heavens. Shoo, hallelujah. Instead of letting our faith be dictated to by our heart and what God said. There it is again, so strong. Faith is the substance, the title to the deed of the substance of things hoped for. I just got another good one.
Yes, he sent that to me. That is so damn good.
Oh, man.
That guy speaking tongues. Oh, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when he's speaking in tongues. Oh, my gosh.
The epitome of showmanship. It always takes me back to the great Steve the comic. Damn it. He was one of the first original cast members of Saturday Night Live. I don't know why I can't remember his last fucking name. He played Crusoe and all these other characters. Maybe it'll come to me, but it always reminds me of the fake preacher film that he did. It was a comedy where he would show up in, some random town and set up his big top and do a shtick just like that guy, Steve Martin. Martin.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the film. It was like Faith or something. I might have been Faith. Just these guys are slapstick comics. How can you not laugh at that shit? And people just are so desperate to believe that there is the glorified Sky Daddy up above, that they're willing to buy into their shit. So literally him farting is literally the epitome of every thought he says in his little sermon thingy. So I thought I would be a nice and uplifting to cap off the night.
I laughed out loud at that. That's hilarious.
Oh, it just never gets old. So many people fuck with it. Thank you, content creators that take snippets of this guy's assholishness and turn it into something we all can enjoy. We want to thank you out there. In case you haven't noticed, it was announced today that the great Reapers Underground Black Flame Entertainment has now merged with the awesome Morgrot magazine, which covers interviews of underground metal bands, some on the upper level as well. Amazing artists and artwork. It is a one-stop shop of blasphemy goodness that comes out quite often throughout the year. Always turning out the best art and supporting bands that are in the underground, especially death metal, black metal, all the darkest of the dark. And I'm happy to say that Circle of Nine is part of that family as well. So that's why we have a little bit of a different banner this evening. So we welcome our new alliance known as Morgrot Entertainment. So thank you guys for hanging and banging with us here on Satanic Saturday. It has been a blast. So many great comments out there. You guys are awesome as always. Hoof Beast, always a pleasure as my co-pilot. And, we're 2 weeks away from the day that nobody gives a shit about. So if you're out there and hopefully, some of y'all do, celebrate for Yule and the ancient ancestors of ours, that you have a safe one out there And we'll be back in just a couple of weeks. Keep it as blasphemous as you can. Be yourself. Fuck all the rest. We are the beasts of the field, and we are living in the fleshly life. So enjoy the great indulgence, and always stay heavy.